All right, we are live. Welcome again to another episode of The Market Made Easy with the Maxwell Group. Today we have Keith, Linda, and Doug Hughes with Hughes Building Company and Lantana Development joining us. Thank you guys so much for coming in today and sitting down and talk with us. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Let's jump right in. Tell me a little bit about your businesses and what it is that you do.
We'll start with you, Keith.
Okay. Well, we're a custom home builder and a design company. Our company is actually Lantana Design Studio.
Oh, so sorry.
That's no problem. We were Lantana Development, but we moved it to a design studio. So we've been building custom homes since 1994. We're family owned, obviously, myself, my wife, and my son. Besides that's basically, I don't know what else to say about our company. We're custom home builders. That's what we do, and we offer design services, which is kind of a specialty for a custom home builder.
Yeah, and you guys have really kind of found your niche in the higher end building in like Hacienda, Talking Rock. What are some other areas that you build in?
There's Prescott Lakes.
We basically build in pretty much all of the gated communities, basically. We're building currently in Hacienda, Prescott Lakes, Talking Rock, Inscription Canyon. And that's just the clientele we're working with right now. We're normally, we do like to be the high-end builder. We like to have custom homes in gated communities. It is nice.
Yeah, one of the reasons I really wanted you to come in today is just because of my firsthand experience with you guys and the play on all of the experience you have on the construction side with the design side. And when I bring my clients to you guys, I've just had such a good experience with both of those sides of the building process, and they're so important. So I'm really glad you guys are coming in to talk about this. So one of the big questions I think most people have is when they go to buy a house and they look at inventory with us as realtors and they cannot find what they're looking for. The inventory on the market when they're looking is not exactly what they see for what their vision is. And then they ask us, we present the idea of why don't we consider building a house instead of looking at a resale house. And we as realtors kind of start the process of looking for a piece of land. And that's when I start calling you guys. So from your end, when do you guys start interacting with the client? What does that process look like for you guys?
Me?
Oh, Doug, you can go.
So originally, you have several lots already hopefully in mind.
Right.
And they're in a neighborhood that we're familiar with most likely. You want to start talking to a couple different builders and narrowing down who you want to build your house. It's almost too early to say this guy, but then once you start interacting and talking with us or somebody else, you land somewhere, and then hopefully you already have a budget that we've discussed, and things start to take shape, and we design a home that fits you and your land and your wants and needs, and that's something that we do, and we've kind of carved that niche out in this industry for us, and I think it adds a lot of value instead of just coming in and buying existing inventory. It's yours, and we make it that.
That's awesome. Yeah. So they pick out a few lots. You will meet them out there to kind of give them your take on that specific lot before they buy it.
We can give input. It helps if they have some wants and needs already. If they want a house that has a great view, hopefully they're already looking at a view lot. There's some things there that we work with them on orientation and design through the beginning that forms that concept into some plans and into a home we're building for them, hopefully. So
what if they don't really have an idea of, like, let's say they come in with no real experience on what they've decided they want to build. So like they come in and they go, well, we kind of want of split floor plan, but we don't really have a house already that we're interested in.
That's where Linda comes in, and
Okay.
she is great at getting that out of them and making sure we know what they want. Go ahead.
Okay, so explain how that works from your end. If they come in and they say, we want a split floor plan, we want it to be 3,500 square feet, and we want it to be single story, but we don't mind a walkout.
Once you start talking to them, it all pours out. They do have certain amenities and features that they want, that they've always wanted, because usually this is their dream house. We build for a lot of retirees, and they've lived in several different houses, and they know what works and doesn't work for them, and I help them with the whole plan and livability, what they need, and traffic flow, their views, and then the amenities that they want.
Well, and I remember with one of our clients that we brought to you, light was so important. Having the way that the house was going to be designed so that there was enough light. And then, so how does it work though with like architectural committees? How do you work with them? Like, how does that work?
Well, I have a list. Each subdivision or community has their own architectural guidelines, which I read through again and again. And I make sure to help them design the home according to the guidelines. And they're all a little different. I've worked with basically all of them, and I don't usually have any issues with completing a project according to their guidelines and the buyer's wishes.
One of the things that she does with every client is she meets with them and gets all of the exterior colors and everything, and what each subdivision needs is a color board that goes in and tells them that you're adhering to all of their guidelines. So she does that all on her own, and works with the client obviously, but that's something nice. They don't have to worry about any of that. We take it from the land to the end, and they don't have any headaches. They just tell us what they want.
Cool.
Question.
Oh, we have a question. What is the average square footage for some of your custom homes? From Stephanie.
Well, our
Cost.
Oh, cost?
Oh, the cost.
square footage cost. Well, I would say on square footage, we probably just, on the first part of the question, we normally are building in a 24 to 3,000 square foot range. It seems to be, whether it's a second home or they're moving up here. Our pricing with our current clientele in the subdivisions we're building in starts at $250 a square foot.
Wow. Okay. And I mean, for some people that might be a little shocking because, I mean, over the last 5 years, people were talking about lower price per square, but I think you get a lot for that for $250 a square. I mean, your standard materials are really nice. Can you talk a little bit about what your standard materials look like?
Yeah, at that price range, they're going to get a beautiful home with upgraded amenities and basically everything that they are wanting. And I can help them stay within their budget, but still give them lots of options. I go to market twice a year, and I know I'm up on all the trends and latest products and features. So that's helpful in helping them make selections.
And one of the things that's happened over the last 6 months to a year is the pricing, materials, subs, they've just gone up, and we've had to work our way up just to cover costs. But we also, everything we put into our home is custom. I mean, our appliance packages, our cabinet packages, everything we do, flooring, is very, the allowances are really good, and we give them pretty much anything they want. But that's why we're at $250 now. It just works better for everybody. You could start at $220, and by the time you add some of the things that a lot of other builders may add or that do get added, you'll be at $250 anyway. So we might as well start you there and give you everything you want.
Yeah, set the expectation early so that there's not that sticker shock that some builders are definitely known for.
Yes.
So Doug, when somebody comes in, they have the house design and they start submitting permits, what does that time frame look like?
So it can vary.
Okay.
Everything's based on scope. I mean, we do from, like he said, so, that's probably our average square footage in that, 2,500 to 3,000 range. we also have projects that, can exceed 5,000 livable real quickly. So that project may be a little bit longer time frame or a little bit longer development and engineering. But on average, our plan and engineering development phase is, anywhere from 2 to 4 months, depending on wants and wishes and needs. And then from there, the building departments are doing a great job right now. We've made leaps and bounds in progress with Yavapai County Development Services and City of Prescott. They've cut their time frames down almost to half as far as the plan review and stuff like that. So we're pretty good at having a great process in our team. So when we do submit, everything's ready. We've had a lot of plans come out this year with no corrections, which is great. So we can just move right into that permit.
Okay.
That's something that a lot of guys are still having a hard time with, but we just, we know on the front end to put in that work. And so we're moving through the county in anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks right now. That can change. I've seen that go from 4 weeks to 8 weeks real quickly. So that's a variable that we deal with, but it's also built into during that time frame. They're going over selections with Linda, and we're making sure everything is what it needs to be on the building site, and getting any last minute details wrapped up with them. So when that permit does come out, we can begin that process. And that process can take anywhere from we used to do things a little quicker in this town, but it seems like their lack of skilled labor has moved houses that we build out a couple more months. So we're probably anywhere from 8 to 12 months in a build time. That's totally dependent on scope. That's obviously a 2,400 square foot house happens a little quicker than a 6,000 square foot house does. It's just how it works.
Right, and the topography, I bet too, and the way that you have to situate
the
house.
If I'm building your dream home off the side of a mountain in Hacienda and there's 38 feet of fall on your lot, there's going to be a little bit more work and dirt work and concrete and things that create that end result. Whereas if you have a perfectly flat lot that I'm putting that nice beautiful house on, and it has 2 feet of fall on it, things go a little quicker on the front end of that, as well as accessibility and things. But overall, we're in that year time frame where we're working with you a lot from concept into the day you move in.
So what happens when the client gets cold feet about a decision they made on the house, and they're like, wait a minute, I don't like that window there. I want to move that window.
We always try and work with everyone's wants and needs, I feel like. I mean, there's always things do come up. I mean, we try to get all this stuff really hammered out in the beginning when we're waiting on, HOA reviews and
over a little bit so you're more comfortable.
And any of the municipality reviews that we have to go through.
Right.
But I had a guy the other day that he walked into a room in his house and said, I didn't realize the view would be so great where there's no window.
Right.
And so we added one, and we just worked it out. It's always rolling changes are part of custom homes. We try to minimize them with all the work we do up front, but it's part of life.
It doesn't happen a lot, but once in a while, because we do so much planning in the beginning.
We really try to get all that looked at the beginning.
We try to avoid change orders.
But
well, of course, because they cost money too, because right?
They cost money and a little bit of build time too. That's what people, when they make some of those changes, that window that guy added was a 6-week lead time.
Oh, wow.
Right. So there's, that one window we still move forward on the rest of that project,
of course.
But it might add a week or two to that house and you didn't realize it. But we were very upfront with that as well. So that's, just part of this industry and building a custom home. This isn't an already done floor plan that it is what it is, and you get to pick out some cabinets and some flooring and some colors. This is your home, and that's what we're making.
Yeah. So from the land process to meeting with Linda to getting the permits approved to starting breaking ground, how many times do you think that they meet with? I mean, is it just dependent on the client? Some people think it's going to be such a hassle to build a house. What would you say is the most challenging part of that? And how many times do they really meet with you? Is it 10
In the
times?
beginning of a process, they meet with us quite often, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it is the lot, the orientation, the view. What do you want on your home? Once we get past that stage, and we've gotten through the permitting process and the design process, and we're building the home, we actually normally don't need to meet with the client unless they want us to. We meet with them at the framing stage, and we walk it through, and that's when they start changing windows, maybe, or something may happen that they just realized that, oh wow, this looks a little different now that I see sticks in the air and I see what it's like. But our norm is to get the initial. That's a lot of time consumption there when we meet in the beginning. But once we get to the framing stage, we do a walkthrough with the client so they can make changes that they may see that didn't look right on the plans originally.
Well, and then I meet with them at least 6 times.
At
to
least,
go over all of
okay.
their selections, and then they'll stop in. I have a retail store, so it's very comfortable. I have a fireplace, music, snacks, and
it's
product
beautiful
in there. Thank you.
Yeah, it's gorgeous in there.
But
Yeah.
we encourage them to stop in whenever they want, and they usually have a couple questions that I can answer for them and make them feel more comfortable about the process. It can be stressful, but I try to keep that to a minimum.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, one of the things, like I said before, I think one of the best things I appreciate about HBC is that there is that balance of design, and then the hard questions, the construction side and the design are kind of melding together to make a really great process and a smooth process.
Well, thank you. We're there to do both.
Yes,
You know?
and it's really nice. It's just a really great company that we've worked with in the past, and I wanted to make sure you guys came in.
Yeah.
Well,
before we wrap this up, tell me about one of your favorites.
Houses?
Yeah, one of your favorite houses that you've built. I know there's got to be at least one or two
We've
standouts.
done a lot. Yeah, I mean,
Well, yeah, close to 900 in our career, custom homes. So
What is the standout, like, because I know you guys, one of the other cool things I like about these guys is that they have a portfolio you can actually see. They've documented some really great products that they've built. And so, there's a couple I think that probably stand out.
so I don't know if I have a favorite, but I will say this. I interact a year, 2 or 5 with these clients afterwards. And I think the most fulfilling part about some of these jobs is where you walk in a year or 2 later and they're like, we love this. We wouldn't change a thing. We'd build this house again on a different lot. Those words right there are like, we nailed it. Every one of us did our job in creating that thing that they saw but didn't know how to make, and we did. That's awesome. I love that. I love coming back to a client because they didn't know how to reset a GFI, and I'm there for like the easiest warranty thing in the world. And you ask, how's everything going? And what did you think of this that we did? And I've never even done that before. And how did it work? And how does it work today? And they're like, it's perfect and it's great and we love this. And those, when they don't have a bunch of things they want to do different, that's how you know it was a great project. Those, and I love going back and hearing that. So I can't say that I have a favorite one. I have that happen a lot, and so those are all just, we know we nailed it. And for
That's
them
awesome.
and us. So that's something that I really take away from this and have those are my favorites because I love hearing that. That's why we do it, I think.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
yeah.
And you did have a couple of specs going a while back. Are you still doing any specs?
we are.
Yeah, we have a couple out there. We don't do too many of them.
No, I know, but
Yeah,
when you
majority of
do,
our work is
I'm
pretty
in anticipation. Do you have any projects that you're working on that would be available for people if they just want to trust your vision?
Well, we have one in Talking Rock.
Okay.
We have a concept one in talking right now. I just saw that come across.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
in Sterling Ranch.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a close to 6-acre piece
Ooh.
in their new area that they're developing.
Okay.
So
And how far along are you in that
just-
process?
I've done a preliminary floor plan and I'm working on the elevations and roof line.
Okay.
So
Any
How big was that
idea?
one? I forget.
it'll be about 3,500
Okay.
with 3-car garage plus an RV garage, and completely walled
nice.
and
And a
gated.
detached guest quarters. So.
Wow. And you guys do blown-in insulation, right?
Well,
All
okay.
foam.
Well, so blown in is usually a cellulose product.
Right.
I stay up on all the
Okay.
building technologies and things like
Okay.
that. So right now, I would say the best return on investment for insulation is going to be open cell foam, which is a sprayed in. Some people get it confused with blown in.
Okay.
And that's a great product. It helps seal your home up, and it has the best return on livability and how much you spent versus what you're getting out of it in energy savings. All of the stuff we put in is really thought out through, high efficiency appliances, and obviously they've got to meet certain design criteria, but through that, a lot of these great companies that we deal with are really getting up on the energy efficiency side. All of our HVAC heating and air stuff is as energy efficient as you can make it. So these houses, because the worst thing ever is a 5,000 square foot house that has massive power bills. Wouldn't it be great to have a 2,200 square foot house power bill in your 5,000 square foot house? That's here. All those building products, we're using them. We try to stay up or ahead of all the building codes. So we're putting all of these great products in our homes with even to the roofing. We're using products that last way longer than most things in the market today because it just provides a better value for our client. And the drafty houses are old news. These. So we're definitely up on all the insulation stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we've got to wrap this up.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for coming in today. Before we wrap it up, how can the people get a hold of you?
We're at 1235 Willow Creek Road, and our phone number 928-717-0033. And we have websites. I'm on Facebook and Instagram also under Lantana Design Studio.
Awesome.
Yeah, if they want to go see that spec that you're building, I can't wait to see it.
And
Yeah.
our
In Prescott,
the
obviously.
building company's website, which links to the design, and I think the design links to us, is www.hbc-az.com. So
Cool. And for
links there. And
the
everything.
folks who aren't watching it live, that'll be right here.
Yeah, it'll be on the.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
I'll put that on the screen for
Yes.
those who aren't watching live, and we'll put some tags for you on the live video so that people can get in touch with you.
Well, we appreciate you calling us in to
Yes,
do
I'm so
this.
glad you
It's been
guys could
fun.
come.
Yeah,
So
this is
great.
fun. It's actually in one of our old offices that we
I know.
I know.
That's
Back
really
home.
For having us. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you guys again, and thank you guys for watching. Until next week,
Thank you.
I'm Kellen Hoskins with Carissa Maxwell, and we hope you're having a wonderful day. We'll see you soon.